Hit record again, and hopefully I didn't lose. There's Tania. Guys, I don't know what happened. My Mac just quit on me. So Tania, I lost my train of thought. I know what you guys heard. So I first spoke to Tania at the airport at the turnstile as we were getting our luggage, and since then we've become friends and speak back and forth, and I look up to Tania each day. And many of you guys know Tania from afar. As you know, she's in Insanity and in T25 is our great modifier, and one of the people that put Cize together with Sean. But as a leader, guys, she's 14 in the company. She's a Success Club 10 All-Star legend. She's married to her husband, Derek. She has one son. They recently moved from New York to Texas. And, I mean, the list is ongoing and going and ongoing. But I saw her move up in the ranks, and I'm just super excited. And, Tania, I don't have my Facebook open, but I think everybody knows you. You deserve an amazing intro. So I'm going to just kick it over to you, and I'll mute your audio. And sorry for the disconnection.
That's okay. Hi, guys. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I just have, okay, so, oh, good. You can see all my notes behind me. So maybe hopefully my bank accounts are behind me. No, I'm just kidding. I know sometimes I do all these videos and things, and I'm like, I should check like what's written behind me and make sure I'm not giving anybody's like information away. I am having a horrible hair day, so I have to excuse me. I'm just throwing this on. Anyway, thank you, David, and thank you all so much for having me on tonight. I kind of lost my voice a little bit over the weekend from teaching. Was anybody at the Platinum Edge? Anybody? I can't really see everybody, but anyway. So I was just there, and I taught the Cize workout on Saturday, and even though I had a mic, I decided to shout. And so anyway, so I apologize. I'm really excited to be on this call, and I asked Dave, I said, what does your team need? It's that time of year where it's that time of year. Thanksgiving is next week. I lost it when I was like, wait, that's next Thursday. So we've got Thanksgiving. It's like a high stress time. It's a very emotional time of year, and just it's so much going on at the end of the year. And he said, I think I just want you to tell your story. A lot of people don't really know who you are other than the girl that everybody hates or loves to hate. I guess that's a better way of saying it, Insanity. And everybody loved again in 2025 because she got fat and lost weight. I'm just kidding. That's terrible to say that. But anyway, I started with Beachbody way back in the day. But totally on the other side, I've only been a coach for 2 years. So I signed up August 1st, 2013. But I have been around the company since before the network was born. And I remember when the network was born, it was called $1 Million Body. I don't know if anybody knows that. It's a fun fact. That might be a trivia question one day. But anyway, it was called $1 Million Body once upon a time. And I thought it was like the weirdest thing ever. I thought that up until 2 years ago, actually, on the day I signed up. I still thought that for a little while, but I met Sean. I was a professional dancer first. That's where I come from. That's pretty much, me take this off. I've been a professional dancer since I was 21 years old. I guess most people will know me as I danced for Britney Spears for 4 years. So that was a big highlight of my career. Done a lot. And I met Sean T on a dance job. We were both dancing in a show called The 10 Commandments in Los Angeles. It had an amazing cast, but it didn't do very well, but we worked really hard on it. So Sean and I met during that. He started doing hip hop abs and asked me to come help him, and the rest is history. I've been working alongside him through hip hop abs, rock and body. We did hip hop abs in Spanish. I don't know if anybody knows that, but he actually learned to speak Spanish. He ran a Spanish speaking test group, and we shot the entire hip hop abs workout in Espanol. He spoke Spanish. So that was really fun. We did that. And then we went to New York and we did Insanity. And then it just went crazy. We did Insanity together. And in case anybody really kind of wants to know where my name, The Machine, came from, I didn't name myself that. When we were running the test group, we were doing these workouts every single day. And there was a little bit of like a stage in the gym, in the group exercise room, that he always needed me to stay on to keep doing the workout while he went around the room to help fix form and to motivate the group. But he told me I could never stop. He's like, you have to stay up there and you have to keep doing it. You have to keep doing power jumps. You have to keep doing all this crazy stuff. So because of that conditioning, I got to be just super strong, and I built a big stamina because I was afraid he would get mad at me if I ever took a break. So that was the only reason why before I ever did Insanity, I really wasn't an athlete. I'm still not an athlete, actually. I never really worked out. I just danced. So pretty much like Beachbody was my first taste of fitness. So I didn't come from a huge fitness background. And then after that, I got pregnant and had a late miscarriage. And that was just kind of the start of everything. I had a second trimester miscarriage, and my life kind of went upside down from there. I did happen to get blessed with my son. I got pregnant again, and I gained a ton of weight. I gained 60 pounds, and I'm pretty small. I'm 5'4", so the day I gave birth, I was 185 pounds. But I didn't care because I was pregnant and I was happy. I had a healthy baby. And I think at that point, the reason why I told you about my miscarriage is because when I got pregnant again, I refused to exercise, and I refused to do anything that would be any sort of threat to my pregnancy. I was terrified to work out. So it's funny, to this day, everybody asks me, what did you do when you were pregnant? Did you work out? And I said, absolutely not. And today would be a different story. If I were to get pregnant again, I think I would know better. But at the time I was paranoid. So I put on a ton of weight, and I didn't really eat bad until the last month, but I really wasn't watching what I ate, because for the first time in my life, I didn't care. I enjoyed being pregnant, and I enjoyed my tub of ice cream every single night in the 9th month. And I just enjoyed it. I was 37 when I got pregnant, so a little bit older. And I had a really healthy pregnancy. But after he was born, I had a C-section, and my body was nowhere near what it used to be, and nor did I care. And I thought, well, I should back up and say I thought I didn't care about the way my body looked and the way my body felt, because I was just trying to survive as a new mother. Excuse me, my son. Go with Nana, please. I'm sorry. I apologize. Just can you? Sorry. So I didn't care about what my body looked like, and I didn't care is what I said on the outside. But deep down inside, I did care, and I felt like I would never get my body back. And I'm sorry, you guys. I have to apologize. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. It's been one of those days. Okay, I know where I was at in my story. I thought that I just thought that machine girl, that machine body was never, ever, ever going to come back. And I thought, oh, well, it's never going to come back. This is a new mommy's body. But deep down inside, I did feel horrible. So what did I do about it? Absolutely nothing. I just wanted to survive as being a new mother. And I didn't really know what I was doing at all. And then Sean called me one day. I was about 5 months postpartum, and I hadn't lost my weight. I probably lost like maybe 25, 30 pounds, which is, I guess, it just kind of comes off, some of it. And then I got stuck, and I still had another like 20 to 30 pounds to lose, but I didn't really know what to do at the time. There was nothing else out but Insanity and a couple of other like high intensity programs at the time. And I was like, I am not doing those crazy workouts ever again. Like I couldn't do anything. And he called me and he said, I'm doing a new program and I really would love for you to be a part of it. It's a 25-minute workout and I need you to come to New York. I was living in Los Angeles at the time. And he said, I need you to come to New York and I want you to be part of this new program. It's a 25-minute workout. And I was like, 25 minutes? Are you joking? That's not going to work. Like, who's going to buy that? I told him that. I said, you just did insanity, those like crazy hour-long workouts or, 59 minutes, whatever. How are you going to do a 25-minute workout? How's that going to work? So I was the biggest skeptic. And, but I went to New York to help him develop the program. And he kept saying to me, I want you to be a part of it in this, this way and that way. And I'm helping him design the workout from a modifier's perspective because I couldn't do anything. So all of a sudden he goes, I want you to be in the videos. I'm like, have you looked at this body? Are you kidding me? Like, what? Like, I just didn't, everybody just saw me in insanity, like doing, 8 million power jumps. And I can't even like jog in place longer than 15 seconds. I can't even hold a plank without collapsing. I had zero strength. And inside I was very sad. But I never let anybody see it because I felt guilty as a new mom. I felt guilty for feeling bad about my body. I thought that people would think that I don't know why I thought this, but I thought people would think that I was ungrateful for what my body had just gone through and that it was not okay to, be ashamed of your body. So I kind of hid all of those feelings. I don't know why I felt that way, but which is hormones maybe. But I started doing the program with him and he put me in the test group. And at first I was like, are you trying to tell me I need to lose weight? But I guess he was. No, I'm just kidding. He told me, if this works on you, I will know. I will know if this will help women who gained a lot of weight with their pregnancy and see if they can get this weight off. Like, I was his true guinea pig, somebody who had to modify. Now, mind you, there was no modifier in insanity. So this was really like his true test of if this program can work and if it can work on someone who has to modify. And then it worked. After about 4 weeks into the program, I was able to hold a plank again. I was getting my strength back. And then I did the program. And I got great results, changed my entire life. And still to this day, I know there's been a ton of amazing programs, but to this day, that is my heart and soul workout. And it'll always be the one that I will have that connection to because it's what kind of changed my life around physically, emotionally. And around that same time is when I started my coaching business. But I didn't become a coach for a lot of the reasons that many people first sign up. I didn't do it because I wanted to try a program, right? I came from a very different side of the business. I did it because I had lost 50% of my income somewhere throughout this, period. And I also forgot to tell you guys, 5 years ago, I was bankrupt. I was bankrupt 5 years ago. 2010, I walked myself down to the, to the bankruptcy court with my head hanging low. And I filed for bankruptcy. And probably one of the lowest times of my life that I was super ashamed of, but what can you do? So here we are, 3 years later, I'm in New York City and I'm finally doing well again. I'm, working and I'm building up my income again and building up my credit and just, doing well. And then all of a sudden I got hit again with a notice that said that my contract was being renegotiated and that they were cutting me down to 50% of my contract. And I panicked. I said, I have a baby at home. I have a family to take care of. And in 30 days, I've got to figure out what am I supposed to do? So I freaked out. You can only imagine the way I felt having a child at home and a family to support. Because at the time, we decided my husband would stay home and support our son at home instead of hiring a nanny. So he allowed me to go outside of the home to work and he'd stay home. So we were on one income. A friend of mine said, and the friend who told me about coaching was not Danielle, believe it or not. Somebody said, you should become a coach. And my answer was, yeah, no, that's okay. That's a bunch of that's a cult, right? With like a bunch of crazy salespeople. And I resisted and I resisted. But I said, I got to do something. I have to do something. I've got to find income to pay these bills. 50%. Like I was living off of like 75% of my income, if not 80%. I was living in New York City. So there wasn't a whole lot of reserves. So I had to think fast. So I just did it. And I had no clue what I was doing. I signed up for $39.95. Didn't know what a challenge pack was. Didn't know what a leg was. I didn't know about anything. All I knew was I knew how to help people. I knew that. And the reason why I knew how to help people was because, not that I'd ever been a coach before, but because I had helped Sean run test groups. So I knew how to motivate people. And then I also knew what it felt like to actually be on that side. Someone who needed to lose weight, who needed to find herself again, find her confidence again. And I think that is the reason why the timing worked out and why I didn't become a coach a lot sooner. A lot of people are like, oh my God, can you believe you could have been a coach years ago and you would have been so rich? But I don't think of it that way because I do think of timing. And I think that maybe wasn't the right time of my life. So I signed up and here I am 2 years later. And I'm now one of you crazy cult people. So, and it has really changed my entire life around. And I'm so proud of the decision I made. And now just 3 months ago or 4 months ago, I moved to Texas. I was able to not only replace the income that I lost, the 50%, but I also actually matched my entire salary. So I was able to walk away from my full-time job and now be a full-time coach and work from home and be home with my son, as you can hear, or as you heard. And I'm so happy. And if there's anything that I can help you with, if I don't know if we'll have time, I will definitely take questions. But so that's pretty much my story. I don't know if any of you had heard any part of that. So, hey, Dave, I don't know where you are, but
I'm here. I can hear you. So this is what I love, guys, because life has not been, and I know Tania probably can't take it that, I built this business because I'm Tania, and I know what it could be like to be in that seat. As you guys can hear, life has not been crystal clear for Tania. It hasn't. And to get to where she is, 2-time elite coach, 14 in the company, 6-star right now, right, Tania, you said?
Yes.
6-star right now. You are obviously crushing the business. So I guess my question is for the newer coaches for 2 years, so what does your daily time frame look like? To be 14, you are working your butt off, guys. She's not there with working her butt off. What was your beginning like? How did you get started? How did you get disciplined for the newer coaches on the call?
This is perfect because I am all about disciplines, routines, and schedules. I don't know if it's my type A Asian personality. I blame everything on being Asian, so it's just a joke. But the number one thing is I'm super organized, and I've always been that way. And the reason why I'm that way is because I have a tendency to get overly excited about things, and then I completely lose my train of thought. I'm just hyper that way. I always have been. So I learned when I was younger, when I remember in school when I got my first set of bad grades. And it devastated me because I was the straight A student, and I always had to, I wanted to excel at everything. I had to be the best at everything. I was definitely Tracy Flick. Yes? Election, anybody? Or Monica? My husband used to call me Monica Glick. It's really funny. Or Tracy Flick, sorry, Monica Flick. Anyway, you know what I mean. So I was both of those personalities, but I learned when I got my first set of bad grades that I needed to fix it, and I needed to fix it fast. So I just started making lists, and those lists, this is before digital age, right? So this is back in the day when we got our little planner, and I still do the planner, by the way. I still do that. I still make lists. But systems, I created a way for myself when I first started this business, and you can imagine what my inbox was like when I first became a coach. I couldn't keep up with the daily, just the daily actions of Facebook and my email and all that stuff. So at first I was really bogged down. And even if you're not getting that kind of traction, it's easy to get bogged down and overwhelmed. So when I first started, I was working full time, as you know. My work hours on my Beachbody business were 5 to 6, maybe 7 a.m. So about 2 hours in the morning. and then not again till about 9:30 at night after I put my son to bed and after I had a moment to just breathe. So I really technically only worked on my business for about 3-4 hours a day at the most. And because I knew I only had that, and I'm sure a lot of you are in that same boat where you have a full-time gig, whether you're working outside of the home or you're working inside the home. As far as like being a stay-at-home parent, that's a full-time job. So if you have limited hours, you have to plan out your day every single day and map out those times of your days. That's what I did. It was the only way that I was going to focus. And what did I do during that time? Is I was constantly inviting, but not in like I guess the way that I was inviting was purely on social media, and that's still the way I do it. I do everything on social media because for me, that was the most efficient way for me to get an invitation out. And then make a post and then have everybody, whoever wrote into me, then I would get back to everybody. And that was pretty much how I started. I just did I still only do, I just did one challenge group a month or the whole program. So T25 was 10 weeks, right? So I just ran that before I ran something else. And I had no intention of building this business the way I did. I just knew that one thing I knew how to do was run a challenge group, or I knew how to help people because I'd run test groups before. And that's all I focused on. I just focused on wanting to help people. And I know you hear that a lot and it sounds like such a cliche, but it's true. I really just wanted to help people lose weight with this program because I told Sean that it wouldn't work. I told him it wouldn't work. And then when it worked on me, I knew that it worked. I knew, and I was like, people have to have this. Like, people haven't done a Shaun T program since Insanity. And let me tell you, not a lot of people want to do Insanity. I get it. It was like the perfect, answer at the time for what people were needing. An intense program, but much shorter, and a modifier. So I was just so excited to get that out there. So being organized is one thing, and I don't know what you use. Everyone's got a different system. I use iCal. People use Google Cal, whatever. Everything's color-coded, set to alarms. And when I mean color-coded, I still have a lot of different responsibilities. So I'm the Cize Live format expert. So I'm choreographing, I'm filming. I still go to New York to film stuff with Sean for the other part of Cize. I'm a mom, and I have my team. So if I don't create an organized system for myself, I'll get nothing done. And I do believe, because of the way that I'm organized, that I'm able to get a lot accomplished in a short amount of time. And my one piece of advice on somebody told, actually Kim Carver, I think you guys all know who Kim Carver is at corporate. He was my personal mentor until he got promoted. But he still texts me. We still talk off and on. But he told me, Tania, be careful. When you move to Dallas and you become a full-time coach, you're going to have some more time on your hands. I was like, more time? You're right. But he was right, because I wasn't at my full-time job. He goes, here's the challenge for you. To keep those same disciplines you have. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't change it just because you have more time. And at the time I thought, well, that's weird. I'm going to have so much more time. Like, why do I'll be fine. And sure enough, he was right. When you have more time, it's almost like, I don't know. It was like, I felt like I just had more time. So I kind of slacked off a little bit, but it was a big transition also. As far as trying to stick to my calendar, but I've recently gone back to my systems, and it's made a huge difference. So I don't know if that answered your first question on how I got started, but
no, and I think that's good. Two things I love is, Tania, as you say, people can overcomplicate this business. At the end of the day, you invited people to your challenge group, and your business took off. Like, everything else falls into place. Like, people get so bogged down, they want to have everything in order, and obviously that's not the case.
Oh my gosh. I tell my team the same thing, guys. I tell them all the time. I'm like, I don't sugarcoat much. And I'm like, this is how it is, guys. You get up, you do your workout, you drink your shake, you talk about it, and you talk about it publicly. That's it. That's it. And, I know, because I'm that type of person who I needed to know, I'm the girl that needs to know all the answers. And I know I need to know how everything works before I start something. But for this business, I realized there's no way I could possibly learn everything. And like, you just have to go with the flow. And I think that came more with me just learning to be more patient with personal development, which is being a parent in general, right? Like you don't have that much time to focus on little things, as you know, right? As parents. So I was just patient, and I just said, you know what? I'm sorry. This was a good tip for newer coaches. When I first started this business, yes, you'll get plugged into, or ask your upline to get plugged into a new coach training if that's something that you want to do right away. But I didn't want to. I didn't want to do like a new coach training because I thought it took too long, or not too long, but I kind of wanted to go at my pace, and I wanted to go a little bit faster, but do what I wanted to do. So I spent 20 minutes a day, no more, learning the back office. That's it. And to this day, I can't reach it, but I have like a set of notes that I have stapled together that are my original notes on the first day I became a coach. There's like coffee stains on it and everything. And I just took notes. And that's what I still tell my team today, guys. I'm very much, and I like to empower my team, and I'm not very good at enabling. So I always teach my team to be resourceful, because that's what I did. Your upline is there for help and support. But if you go in knowing that this is your business, you'll treat it like your business. And actually, you treat it like your job. That's even a better way to think about it. Somebody else gave me that tip, is if you treat it more like your job, so that you know you have daily duties, daily things that you need to do to start growing your business. Because sometimes when we're like, oh, it's our business, we don't apply those same duties, right? So if you treat it like a job, but also know that as a business owner, an entrepreneur, or what have you, that you do need, take responsibility for what you've invested in. And so I did that on my own, and I try to, teach my team that as well, of course, providing help and support. But yeah, guys, keep it simple. I tell my team, guys, stop overcomplicating it. And as soon as you find yourself in a rut, or where you feel like you're stuck in your business, raise a hand. Anybody's kind of feeling that way this time of year? I am. It is. It just is. Here's one thing I say to my team, and it makes all the difference. Because everybody, we're pushing for top 10, so we're a little wacko right now. There's a high stress level. Everybody's trying to hit Success Club. Everybody's trying to do this. So you know what, guys? Let's take it down a notch. And I want you to ask yourself one thing. What is the one thing you fell in love with Beachbody? What is it? Just one thing. And they all wrote their one thing down. And I said, now that is your invite. That's it. What did you love about it? Don't overcomplicate it. Don't try to explain everything about this business. Just help somebody, and it will happen, right? It just will happen because it's authentic, because it won't happen if it's not authentic. We know that. So I just always tell my team, when they get frustrated, when they get crickets, they feel, I tell them, people are listening. You just got to show up. You have to show up every single day. Be on your social media every single day, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it, because you're helping people. People are watching you, and one day they're going to need your help. And if you always remember about that one thing that you fell in love with Beachbody, then you'll always do it with a smile on your face versus, I got to get that point. I'm at SC4 and I got to get that point. I got to get the point. I got to get the point. And people aren't points. People are people. So if we think of it that way, it makes it a lot less stressful and much more enjoyable.
Love it. Love it. So I have one last question. I want to see if anybody has questions, if you have a minute. I know you're a paper person when it comes to reading with books. That's what I've heard.
How do you know that? Because I like to smell my pages.
Yes, that. I saw that somewhere. I don't know where it was. So what are you reading these days?
So I'm actually reading 2 books, but you're actually going to laugh, because the only reason why is because I got a 99-cent Kindle version, so I have it on my iPad. I'm reading. Yeah, it sucks. It's not the same, guys. I can't smell the screen. And I have a problem. I'm that girl at Barnes & Noble. I'm like in the aisle, and I'm like this. I pick up a book, and fun fact, I have to open it up to a page that's never been opened before, or I think that's never been opened, and I have to smell it. And then I have to go to another page that's never been opened. I'm weird. So I am reading Miracle Morning for Network Marketers as my personal development. It's incredible. I'm already a morning person, but I don't know if anybody is reading it or has read it. There's regular Miracle Morning, and then there's Miracle Morning for network marketers. And I'm reading that for my PD. But I decided to recently add fun reading back in because I feel like all we ever read is personal development. Mm-hmm. All we ever read are work-related books. And I thought, why not add some non-work related books? So I tell myself, I read my chapter or my section, whatever, my 5 pages, whatever you set yourself up to do. And then after I've read my PD, then I'm allowed to go read my fun book. And my fun book right now is called 13 Hours. It's, anybody know it? 13 Hours. It goes back to, it's a true story. And the movie's coming out in January, actually. And I don't even remember this. Oh, you're reading that too. Great. So it's 9/11/2012 when the CIA, it was called the Annex CIA building, and I can't think of the other name, but the compound where the ambassador comes into town and stays in Libya. And it gets attacked on 9/11. And the elite special soldiers are there to protect. And anyways, it's basically what happens during these 13 hours. And apparently there was a lot of cover-up and all this stuff during that time from the government. CIA, you can only imagine. So that's my fun read. Sorry.
Guys, who has questions? There's a lot. There's over 80 of us on the call tonight. So guys, anybody want to text in the chat or unmute your line?
Doesn't have to be business related. You can ask me anything.
My wife, I think she says, I do. Chris, you want to unmute your line?
Hey, Tanya, how are you?
Hello.
So you were totally just talking to me a few minutes ago when you were talking about what Kim Carver said to you about when you were full-time. Because I just went full-time. I quit my teaching job. So as of September, this was the first time that my kids all go to school, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to get so much done. And I'm completely unfocused and scattered because I have that time now. And I was much more productive when I was a teacher, and I would squish it in at night and, all throughout the day and in the morning. So what would you say is your schedule like? Like, how many hours a day are you doing Beachbody, and how much of it is dedicated to your business and how much is dedicated to helping your coaches?
Good question. So First thing I ask you is, how many hours, when you were teaching full time, how many hours a day do you think that you worked on your business?
I'd say total, maybe 2.5.
Right. And probably felt that maybe wasn't enough, right?
Well, yeah, that's why I ended up leaving.
But you did a lot during that time.
Yeah.
So that's I did about 3, sometimes 4 hours on a good day. 3, some days I only had 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I would condense a lot of that stuff out. So I still do the same thing. So I start my business. So my son goes to school only 3 days a week. So my days are a little bit weird, but I take those same activities that I was doing in that little time crunch that I had, and I still do it in almost the same amount of time. Okay. Because the activities are no different. I feel, right? It's exactly the same. But what I did was, with the extra hour, 2, 3 hours. Some day it just depends on how many Zoom calls I've got that day, or if I'm doing any special trainings, or if I'm filming videos. I dedicated that part more to my team and doing that kind of stuff, because all the inviting and all the stuff for my own business, I was already doing in that short amount of time. Right. And at that time, I really didn't have a team. Like, my team really didn't start getting super active until maybe last year. So I didn't have much that we were doing I wasn't doing that much as a team leader as I'm doing now. So that's what I dedicated my time to. So if that helps you to maybe spend 2 to 3 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, whatever that is, on your business, those same activities. And I don't know how many more hours you have in your day, maybe, 3, 4 more. I don't know, 3.
Yeah, 2 to 3 more probably.
Yeah. Then don't forget to take an hour for you, maybe. I
haven't been eating at lunchtime. I'm like, oh, I have to eat.
Yeah. Take time for you. That's important. You need that. And use the other few hours on whatever you need to do for your team building. When your kids aren't home, if you're doing training videos, or if you're scheduling, calls with people, or you're I don't know, and you're doing your graphics for your team. I don't know, anything like that. That's what I did.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? I know you're dying to ask me something.
Hi, Tania.
Hi.
Hi, Tania. My name is Stacy. How are you?
Hi.
I have a question. So I've been kind of dabbling in my coaching and trying to build my business. And I do have a few coaches under me, but most of them are really just discount coaches. I hate saying that, but they are. They really don't seem to have an interest in working yet, which was me for probably about 8 or 9 months as well.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any advice on going forward on how to maybe try and get people in and motivate them to want to work the business?
Excuse me. So do you mean, okay, so 2 things. I still have, I have a lot of people that, a lot of people do this for the community. You have to remember that too. I think a lot of people do coaching. Maybe they would like to grow a business if it were to happen to pick up, but I think a lot of people do it for the community. So I've learned, I make sure that I ask them truly, like, what do you want to do with this? And be okay with the fact that they are purely a hobby coach. Mm-hmm. Of course, I would never tell them that, like label them that, or a discount coach, whatever. But one day they may just want to grow their business. But my style is I don't ever really push somebody unless I know that they want to do it. So I noticed a shift in my business when I started wanting to build my business more, meaning wanting to find coaches that were actively building their business, because I didn't really care in the beginning. I just was having fun running challenge groups, and, I just was having fun selling challenge packs, getting Success Club, and trying to win all the contests. Like, I was just having fun doing that. I didn't have any intention on building a team. But as soon as I started to change that focus, guess what happened? I started attracting those same people that also wanted to grow their business. So, and I don't know if you guys know, I'm sure you do, Lori Stewart. She was our number 3 coach. She's a really good friend of mine. She was a discount coach. She didn't want to have anything to do with this business, and then decided she wanted to do it, and then she became the number 3 coach the next year. Uh-huh. So you just never know. So I would always advise people, if you have people who are not yet ready, don't push them, but always be encouraging them, and kind of almost, every time there's a celebration, maybe in your big team page, like with your whole team, celebrate all the things that people are, because it kind of lights a little fire under people. So recognition is a big thing, or like, people want to be part of stuff like that. So
great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Anybody else for our last question? Bueller? Anybody?
Bueller. Anything doesn't have to be about business. You got me here.
Yeah. Number 14. I'll say it again. Tanya, I'll remind you, you're 14.
I know. It's a little bit like, what's interesting is, so we were 15 last month.
Yep.
Yes, we are really pushing for top 10, but I also don't, this might sound, it doesn't sound terrible, but I don't want to spend my holidays like that, like completely stressed out of my mind. I just want to continue doing what I'm doing and encouraging my team, and I'm not going to, go crazy over it. But when we were 15 last month, I just said, we're going to push for it. Of course, I'm telling my team, we're going to push for it. We're going to do it. We're going to go for it and keep the fire alive. But I just want to end as high as possible, maybe start off next year as high as possible. But then when the rankings just came out and we moved up a spot, then I totally stressed out. I was like, now we got to go. Now we moved up. I was kind of just like, well, we're cool here. I know that may sound terrible to say, but, being number 15 in the entire company is quite an accomplishment. Last year we finished at 25, and we weren't even trying. And so if I can give anything to you guys, and Christine Dwyer talks about this a lot, when you focus on the right things, the business will work for you. I was never pushing for, sure, I had goals that I wanted to make, sure. But we ended last year at 25, and I wasn't even trying. What I was trying to do was just get everybody excited about the business. And if you think of it that way, if you just do the things we're supposed to do, it does happen. Sometimes, I don't know if anybody in here is like that, where it's like you're pushing. I don't know if anybody in here is, pushing for any kind of rank or anything like that, but it can get very stressful. And I always just tell people, just take it back. Just take it back to, what is it that we're supposed to be doing? Working out, drinking a shake, talking about it, reading our personal development, and just sharing it. It's really that simple. And when we take those pressures away, again, it just makes this business so much more enjoyable. And you will grow and you will thrive and you will find success because you're paying attention to the right things. So
I love that, because let me tell you, it can be stressful. Kristen and I right now are doing Shailene's Smart Success.
Mm-hmm.
You need it at the right time, and she talks about, I don't know if you went through that, but she really hits home your key priorities, your family. You don't want to burn yourself out. Everybody's gone that you're with, so no matter where you end up, you're an unbelievable winner for finishing what you did. It's an amazing accomplishment. Really.
Yeah.
Anybody want to give a last question? We'll do last one with Jacqueline. How many forms of social media are you on?
Actively? I have accounts everywhere, apparently. No. So I really run my business mostly on Instagram and Facebook. And I know that I have a Twitter. But I recently just, actually as of today, I'm also on Periscope, and I disappeared for a while. But now, because of Shailene, actually, I got reignited and I'm back on Periscope. So Periscope and Twitter are together. But I do find the majority of my business on Instagram and Facebook. I use a Facebook like page, and I'm a total proponent for that. There are different views on that, but I teach my team to use a like page. I know other people tell their team to use their personal page until they're comfortable switching over to a like page. But I encourage my team to already start building their brand and building their business on their like page, because you have unlimited reach. So,
did you do Shailene's Instagram Impact?
No, I didn't. But I know it's excellent. And I know Shailene too. Yeah. But I do know her inner teachings, and I do it. But a lot of my team are doing it or have done it.
Yeah,
and it's incredible.
Yeah.
And she really knows what she's talking about. So if you're not already following her, I'm sure a lot of you are. I mean, there is just gold in the things that she says. Even what I really pay attention to, what she talks about, the priorities in your life too.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to let you go, and thank you so much for coming on the call. It was absolutely great, and finish strong. Enjoy the holidays, and we'll probably see you soon. It'll be hopefully on the elite stage together next year. You'll be there. I'm pretty much there, so we'll do it again. All right?
Yes, we'll be neighbors in line again.
Neighbors in line again, sweating our butts off behind the stage. So anyway, have a great night. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, team, for being on. And guys, the recording will be up tomorrow on the team page. So Tania, thank you again, and have a great night. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.